The world's largest commercial airliner is coming apart in mid-air.
We're losing an engine.
There was fuel leaking from the aircraft. There was damage to the aircraft flight controls.
Pilots face an avalanche of warnings.
What have you got for me now?
Critical systems are failing throughout the gigantic plane.
What's going on up there?
The lives of 440 passengers are at risk. And the crisis quickly escalates from bad
It's one system after another.
to catastrophic.
Computer says we can't make it.
Damn it.
This is like the simulator exercise from hell.
Matt, ECAM actions. On it.
The captain assigns Hicks to decipher the ECAM data. He needs to evaluate every message and figure out how best to react to each one.
We had to work our way through it and build up a picture of what was going on with the aeroplane.
While the captain summons all his skills as a pilot, Hicks needs to quickly master the plane's ECAM computer. He's facing a barrage of error messages from seemingly unrelated systems throughout the plane.
You can't really tell how many messages you've got pending. You know there's more coming because the screen will give you an arrow at the bottom indicating that there is another message.
It became very confusing initially as to why we were seeing so many of them.
Captain de Crepney needs room to maneuver.
Pan, minus 32. Engine failure, maintaining 7400 and current heading.
Minus 32, copied. Please let us know how to assist.
I declared a pan call, and what that does is tell everyone who's listening, we have a problem, tells air traffic control, clear the airspace, and to not annoy us with transmissions. Let us solve the problem.
But the ECAM warnings just keep coming.
Number 2's overheating.
Their damaged engine is dangerously hot. This state-of-the-art plane is now in very real danger of becoming a fireball.
But we couldn't.
Warning's off. I think the fire's out. Let's find a way to confirm that, please.
It was stressful. It was difficult.
I mean, if you had a fire burning out on the wing for the duration of the flight, you'd be landing pretty quick smart rather than taking your time flying around trying to solve other problems.
Marion Carroll is sitting over the left wing, giving her a front row seat to the unfolding calamity.
I could see the hole that was in the wing that had been made by the explosion. And it seemed, from what I could see, quite a large hole, like about a couple of feet across, and all the metal was jagged and sticking up.
The second officer gets a sobering view. Johnson can clearly see that the wing has been punctured straight through from below. The cause of the damage is obvious. The inboard left side engine is blown to pieces.
Is it bad?
Oh, we'll be fine. No worries at all.
What can you tell me, Mark?
Number 2's blown apart, cut holes through the wing, and we're leaking fuel.
Good to know.
It was invaluable to send someone back to physically eyeball the damage on the wing and to have a pilot come back to you and say, hey, look, this is the situation, and especially someone you trust. That's as good as you having a look yourself.
The news helps explain why so many systems are failing. Vital flight controls run through the wing. Shrapnel from the demolished engine has likely destroyed many of them.
There's obviously a lot of hydraulic components that run through the wings, so that would make sense that we'd have damage to the hydraulic system. It sort of clarifies a lot of the information that you see.
We had so many checklists, 100 in the air, that it took Matt 55 minutes to stabilize the aircraft so that this aircraft situation didn't get worse. That is unprecedented in aviation history.
Knowing why the plane is failing doesn't make it easier to fly. The damaged electrical and hydraulic systems could cause an unexpected failure while the crew is trying to land. The pilots decide to circle near the airport until they can work out a plan.
Dave, I need you to run the numbers on this landing.
Check Captain Dave Evans is called into action.
3 engines, full load, all that.
He uses the A380 landing software to calculate how much runway they'll need to bring the huge plane to a stop.
The computer says we can't make it. Runway's too short.
We were some 40 tonnes above our maximum landing weight, and the heavier you are, the more runway and the higher speeds will be on your approach.
Evans tries his calculations again. The computer has assumed a worst-case scenario. He now plugs in some more optimistic numbers.
There is a belief in part of the industry that computers are infallible and you always believe a computer. Now, we've used our computers at home to know that's not true.
Okay. Looks like we can do it with 139 meters to spare.
139 metres surplus on a 4,000 metre runway is a slim margin, but it's better than a minus 139 metres.
What do we need for our approach speed?
146 knots.
146 knots? That can't be right. It's just too slow.
He gave us that speed to input into our flight management computer, and before I input it, I just had to think about it, and I thought that just can't be right. It's just too slow.
Maintaining the right speed on landing is critical. Too slow and the plane will lose lift and plummet to the ground. Too fast and they could run off the end of the runway and crash.
At 20 knots, can we still stop in time?
Good catch, Matt. Yep, 166 works.
I like to think that we suck the brains dry of all the pilots in the cockpit to make one massive brain, and we used that intelligence to resolve problems on the fly because these were unexpected events, the unthinkable events.